Welcome to GBS. This is not a book review channel. We provide complete summaries of carefully selected great books, delivering all the essential content and saving you hours of reading time. By the end, you'll know exactly what the book is about without having to read it yourself. Today, we're diving into Authentic Happiness by Martin Seligman, who was elected president of the American Psychological Association in 1998 and has explored what it truly means to be happy over decades of research. What exactly is authentic happiness? Seligman argued that true happiness isn't found in temporary pleasures like eating, drinking, or partying. While these activities can feel great in the moment, they're short-lived, lack deeper meaning, and often leave us feeling emptier afterward. Pursuing these joys excessively can even lead to harmful outcomes, like alcohol dependency or reckless behavior. Authentic happiness, on the other hand, has two defining features. First, it endures, continuing to bring satisfaction long after the experience itself. Second, it contributes to personal growth, enhancing our abilities and imbuing life with meaning. So, what determines authentic happiness? Positive psychology offers a formula. Happiness's durability equals your baseline level of happiness, plus your environment, plus controllable factors. Your baseline, or happiness set point, is essentially your innate tendency for happiness and accounts for 50% of your overall well-being. Unfortunately, it's genetically determined, much like a thermostat. Research shows that even after major life events, people's happiness levels tend to return to their baseline over time. For instance, lottery winners initially feel ecstatic, but within months their happiness often drops back to pre-lottery levels. Similarly, people who face severe challenges like losing the ability to walk often recover much of their happiness within a few years. As for environmental factors, they do influence happiness, but often less than we think. Studies reveal that wealthier nations have higher life satisfaction, but only up to a point. Beyond a certain income level, around $8,000 per capita annually, additional money doesn't make much difference. And while good relationships and marriages correlate with happiness, the direction of causality isn't always clear. Are happy people more likely to form strong bonds, or do these bonds make them happier? Even so, environmental factors collectively account for just 8 to 15% of our happiness. This leaves us with controllable factors, the aspects of happiness we can actually change. According to Seligman, focusing on these is the most effective way to boost our well-being. In this book, he highlights two controllable paths to happiness: cultivating positive emotions and leveraging personal virtues and strengths. Let's start with positive emotions like optimism, hope, gratitude, and joy. These emotions are incredibly valuable. They open up our thinking, boost creativity, and help us tackle challenges more effectively. Psychologists have conducted experiments to demonstrate this. For instance, when participants were tasked with solving riddles, those who were primed with positive emotions, such as watching a funny cartoon or reading words associated with positivity, were better at finding solutions. Positive emotions also enhance decision-making. In one study, volunteers read articles on health risks like the link between coffee consumption and cancer. A week later, those who had experienced positive emotions were better at recalling the article's negative details and made more informed choices, like rethinking their coffee habits. Negative emotions, such as fear or indifference, tend to narrow our focus and encourage fault-finding. Positive emotions, in contrast, broaden our perspective, helping us consider a wider range of solutions and make better decisions. Beyond cognitive benefits, positive emotions also promote physical health. In the U.S., researchers followed over 2,000 seniors aged 65 and older for 2 years. They found that those who experienced more positive emotions had significantly lower rates of mortality and disability. These individuals tended to maintain healthier habits, lower blood pressure, and stronger immune systems. Another study in monasteries revealed that among nuns living in similar environments with comparable diets and medical care, those with more positive emotions had a 90% survival rate past the age of 85, compared to just 34% for their less positive counterparts. Clearly, positive emotions enhance problem-solving abilities, foster growth, and have a lasting impact, even spanning an entire lifetime. Seligman views them as a cornerstone of authentic happiness. However, not all positive emotions lead to lasting fulfillment. For instance, the joy from listening to music is fleeting and doesn't contribute to sustained well-being. This distinction is why positive emotions are crucial but not guaranteed pathways to happiness. So, how can we cultivate positive emotions? Seligman categorizes them into 3 temporal dimensions: past, future, and present. Let's begin with the past. When it comes to the past, positive emotions include gratitude and forgiveness, while negative ones involve resentment and anger. How we view our past often determines our emotional state. Unfortunately, Freud's influence has led many to believe that all aspects of our lives, from relationships to dreams, are dictated by past traumas. According to Freud, childhood experiences shape adult personality and life outcomes. While childhood undoubtedly influences character, modern psychology has largely debunked the idea that past experiences wholly define us. Studies of identical twins show that genetics have a much greater impact on personality than childhood events. Blaming our current challenges, like depression, job loss, or marital issues, entirely on the past can foster negativity and hinder happiness. Instead, Seligman suggests embracing gratitude and forgiveness to let go of past grievances. To practice gratitude, set aside time daily to list things you're thankful for, such as good health, supportive parents, or acts of kindness from others. You can also express your gratitude directly to those who've helped you, which research shows significantly boosts life satisfaction. Forgiveness, however, can be more challenging. Seligman notes that whether to forgive often depends on personal values, but the evidence is clear. Those who choose forgiveness experience greater happiness. If you're willing to forgive, follow these steps. Start by recalling the painful event objectively, avoiding demonizing the offender. Try to understand their perspective and reasons for their actions. Reflect on times when you've hurt others and been forgiven, which can nurture empathy. Then publicly express your forgiveness, perhaps by writing a letter. Finally, commit to maintaining your forgiveness and remind yourself of this decision as you move forward. Studies show that the more thoroughly you follow these steps, the more you'll benefit from forgiveness and experience positive emotions. Now let's turn to the future. Positive emotions here primarily refer to optimism. According to Seligman, optimism involves maintaining hope for the future, performing better in challenging tasks, and recovering quickly from setbacks. Why are some people optimistic while others are pessimistic? Seligman attributes this to differences in how individuals interpret events. Optimists credit good outcomes to permanent factors like their abilities or personality, while seeing bad outcomes as temporary and situational, like bad luck. Pessimists, however, do the opposite. They see failures as permanent and successes as fleeting. For example, imagine being scolded by your boss for a poorly made presentation. An optimist might think, "I wasn't on my game this time, but I'll be more careful next time." A pessimist might conclude, "I'm just not cut out for this job." So, how can we break free from pessimism and cultivate optimism? Seligman suggests searching for evidence to challenge negative beliefs. For instance, if you think your poor presentation skills stem from a lack of ability, ask yourself, "Have I ever been praised by my boss for excellent work?" If so, that proves the belief is unfounded. Additionally, consider other explanations. Perhaps the presentation suffered because of tight deadlines or personal distractions like family issues. These are temporary factors and don't reflect a lack of ability. Lastly, ask yourself, what's the worst-case scenario if it really is due to my lack of skills? Even if true, skills can be improved with effort. And if you ultimately decide this job isn't the right fit, you can explore roles that better align with your strengths. Life won't fall apart. These setbacks are manageable. By systematically disputing pessimistic thoughts, you can cultivate optimism and positive emotions. Now, let's discuss present-focused positive emotions. Seligman highlights pleasure, which comes from sensory experiences like enjoying an ice cream on a hot summer day, warming up by the fire in winter, or taking a hot shower after a workout. Although these pleasures are fleeting, they're valuable for recharging your mental energy. Seligman doesn't discourage pursuing pleasure, but offers tips to make it more lasting and intense. First, avoid habituation. One of pleasure's pitfalls is that it diminishes with repetition. Eating ice cream daily might bring joy at first, but can quickly lead to boredom or even aversion. To prevent this, practice moderation and spread out your indulgences. For instance, after finishing one tub of ice cream, wait 3 days before having another. This keeps the experience special. Second, savor the moment. The more focused you are, the more intense your pleasure. If you love music, don't multitask while listening. Instead, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and immerse yourself in the sound. If you enjoy movies, aim for an uninterrupted, immersive experience. For example, choose early showings with smaller audiences to avoid distractions. With that, we've covered positive emotions. Now let's turn to virtues and strengths, which Seligman considers even more critical for lasting happiness. Interestingly, many positive emotions, like optimism, hope, and gratitude, are rooted in virtues and strengths. But what exactly are they? Positive psychology identifies 6 universally valued virtues: wisdom and knowledge, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Each virtue encompasses specific strengths, 24 in total. For example, courage includes perseverance, honesty, and industriousness, while justice involves fairness, leadership, and teamwork. Think of virtues as goals and strengths as the means to achieve them. For instance, displaying leadership and teamwork at work exemplifies the virtue of justice. Because of time constraints, I won't detail all 24 strengths here. Seligman emphasizes that harnessing strengths leads to happiness far more enduring than sensory pleasure. To demonstrate, he asks students to perform 2 tasks: one pleasurable, like watching a movie or eating ice cream, and one virtuous, like helping someone through generosity. The students reported that the happiness from virtuous acts was much longer lasting. One even said he'd rather spend time helping others than shopping, because the joy from helping was far greater. This phenomenon relates to the concept of flow, introduced by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi after studying what brings people happiness. Through surveys of over 100,000 people, Csikszentmihalyi found that happiness peaks when individuals are deeply engaged in challenging activities. He called this state flow, a process of growth through using your strengths to overcome challenges. Seligman sees flow as a pathway to happiness. For example, using your analytical skills to forecast market trends or your compassion to care for others can immerse you in a fulfilling state. This flow experience is accompanied by a sense of novelty and accomplishment, driving you forward and infusing life with meaning. Unlike fleeting pleasures, the happiness derived from virtues and strengths becomes part of your identity. You can apply it in any context, work or personal life, and enjoy its benefits continuously. Seligman argues that virtues and strengths are the bedrock of authentic happiness. However, this doesn't mean mastering all 24 strengths. Instead, focus on discovering your strongest attributes and leveraging them to achieve flow and genuine happiness. For areas where you're less skilled, it's okay to let them go. Take work, for instance. For many, work consumes the majority of their time and energy. Turning work into a source of happiness can greatly improve life quality. Yet work often feels like a burden. Endless tasks, demanding clients, and strict bosses can make it seem unbearable. According to Seligman, this negativity arises when you fail to utilize your strengths at work. Viewing your job as mere drudgery magnifies every challenge as an obstacle, leading to frustration. However, when you approach work as an opportunity to showcase your strengths, it becomes a source of purpose and enthusiasm. This shift applies to all jobs, regardless of status. For example, psychologists studied 28 hospital cleaners performing identical tasks. Those who believed their work contributed to patient recovery were more efficient, cooperated better with medical staff, and felt greater accomplishment. These cleaners drew on their strength of care and compassion to find meaning in their roles. When choosing or reflecting on your career, focus on whether it allows you to leverage your strengths. This alignment can transform work from a grind into a deeply fulfilling experience. If you have a curiosity strength, consider a career in scientific research. Curious individuals thrive on exploring mysteries and discovering how things work, making them ideal for uncovering nature's secrets. On the other hand, those with a creative strength might excel as chefs, where their creativity can shine through menu planning, innovative recipes, and artistic plating. For employers, understanding your team's strengths can be transformative. Assigning roles that align with employees' strengths ignites passion and productivity, often more effective than a pay raise. When employees play to their strengths, you'll see your workplace come alive with enthusiasm and productivity. Moving on from work to relationships, surveys show that 40% of married individuals report being very happy, compared to just 23% of single individuals. Marriage is a more significant environmental factor in happiness than money or work. So how do you maintain a happy marriage? One crucial method is to continually recognize and appreciate your partner's virtues and strengths. Couples are often drawn together by each other's strengths, but over time, these qualities can be taken for granted or even reframed as flaws. For instance, someone's honesty might later seem rigid, or their humor might feel like nagging. To counteract this, Seligman suggests a simple exercise. List 3 of your partner's strengths, identify actions that showcase these qualities, and read your observations aloud to them. Then, ask your partner to do the same. This practice helps couples reconnect with each other's virtues, fostering a positive feedback loop of mutual appreciation and emotional closeness. Of course, even the happiest couples encounter disagreements. In such moments, self-control and the virtues of love and understanding are essential. Seligman recommends a structured communication method called the speaker-listener ritual for discussing sensitive issues, such as family finances or relationships with in-laws. Here's how it works. Begin by designating an object, like a small blanket, to represent the right to speak. During the conversation, only the person holding the blanket can talk, while the other listens. When the speaker finishes, they pass the blanket to the listener, who becomes the speaker. As the speaker, focus on expressing your feelings and thoughts clearly, without rushing. Pause frequently to allow the listener to absorb and understand your points. This ensures that both parties build a shared understanding before addressing disagreements. As the listener, concentrate on truly hearing your partner. Show that you understand by paraphrasing their points during natural pauses. For example, if your spouse says, "I'm unsure whether our son is ready for preschool," you might respond, "You're worried he's too young and might get overwhelmed. Is that right?" If you have a different perspective, save it for your turn with the blanket. This method helps avoid common pitfalls in marital communication: criticism, contempt, and sarcasm, while demonstrating mutual care and understanding. By fostering respect and empathy, couples can resolve conflicts and avoid escalating tensions, ultimately strengthening their bond. And with that, we've covered the core ideas of authentic happiness. To recap, Seligman defines true happiness as both enduring and growth-oriented. Happiness is shaped by 3 factors: our happiness set point, our environment, and controllable factors. While the first 2 are largely out of our hands, the key to happiness lies in controllable factors, namely positive emotions, virtues, and strengths. Positive emotions enhance problem-solving, boost health, and can be cultivated across 3 dimensions: gratitude and forgiveness for the past, optimism for the future, and pleasure for the present. However, virtues and strengths have an even greater impact. By leveraging them, we can enter a state of flow, grow psychologically, find meaning in life, and experience profound satisfaction. Whether in work, where employees thrive by using their strengths, or in marriage, where recognizing each other's virtues keeps love fresh, the principles of authentic happiness can be applied universally. Even during conflicts, virtues like self-control and understanding can guide communication toward resolution rather than escalation. That wraps up our exploration of authentic happiness. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and join me to explore 100 great books in 1 year.